Nanda Namastute, Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishvanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priyai. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे. Okay, so we're gonna read from verse 21 to 40. 21 to 42, I think. How much is it? 42? Is it 21 to something like that?
And from 21 on.
21 to 42. And the chapter is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 14, which is called as
That's right.
Huh? What did you say?
That's right. Chapter 14, verse starting from 21.
Okay. So the chapter name is The Disappearance of Lord Krishna. So this chapter marks a lot of, yes, there are a lot of emotions because Krishna has decided to disappear. But then after this chapter, a very drastic growth will happen. Like the Pandavas will retire, then that past the Sukhdev Goswami's appearance, and then Parikshit Maharaj. The curse of Parikshit Maharaj. So a lot of things will happen as we know after this particular context. So it is important to understand the hallmark of this particular pastime going on. So you have to tell me what you studied yesterday. So I'll say that this is the section-wise breakdown, I guess. And we are in the third part, history of Parikshit Maharaj, birth, activity. No. We are, 1 second. No, that I think that was not the right thing for us to say. You have already done this, right? You have already done that's section 1, section 2, section 3. From chapter 1 till chapter 19, it's basically marking the birth of Parikshit Maharaj and then Parikshit Maharaj's meeting with Sukdev Goswami, how he actually offended the rishi who was in meditation, and then how Parikshit Maharaj started to accept the shelter of Sukdev Goswami. So I'm just going to go over it very fast. The aim is by the end of the unit, we all should be able to understand the connection between chapter 13 and chapter 14. What is the name of chapter 13?
Dhritarashtra quits the hope.
Yes. So what is the connection? Between 13 and 14, who can tell me? It's one of the aims, no? What is the link between chapter 13 and chapter 14? Nobody? You have to tell me if I'm audible. What is the link between 13 and 14?
You're audible, Mataji, but I don't know the answer, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, the link is that Narad asked Yudhishthir Maharaj to wait until disappearance of the Lord, right? In verse 50 of 13th chapter. But in this, Sutta Goswami describes the reaction of Yudhishthir Maharaj upon suspecting the Lord's departure. So, Narad Muni was asking Yudhishthir Maharaj to wait until the disappearance of the Lord. And then in this particular chapter, that particular reaction of Yudhishthir Maharaj or the symptoms of Yudhishthir Maharaj upon seeing all the calamities around him, suspecting him that Krishna has disappeared, are now elaborated. So important, this chapter is so important that Sukdev Goswami and Prabhupada have given us like the whole chapter on it, the whole thing to reminiscence. So there must be something for us, right? So understand the connection. The connection is from verse 50 of 13th chapter. What is the application? The disappearance of Krishna is apparent. Why is it apparent? You need to participate because it's a virtual platform. And why is the disappearance apparent? Why is it not,
Because
clear?
for that his task was over for what he had come, Mataji. Like he has established the.
Because Mataji, he was able to see the various changes that were happening in the environment, and even with respect to the people's nature, he could notice that.
Thank you. Madhumay Krishna Kant Mataji, why is it apparent?
Krishna's disappearance is apparent because it is not real at all. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is always present and he is Sachidananda Vigraha. So his disappearance means he is going from this material world of ours existing and he is disappearing into the this thing, other planetary systems or to his own this thing, Goloka Vrindavana. So he will never disappear at all.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you, everyone. So it is apparent because, yes, there were some signs which were very obvious that Krishna is no longer present physically on the planet. But also, it is not that Krishna is like an ordinary person that who has died and changed the body and has forgotten their constitutional position. Okay, so it is apparent in that sense that yes, apparently there are changes in the environment when Krishna has disappeared. Versus there is a comparison when Krishna was physically present and walking on the planet. What were all the forces like? What were all the nature like? But it is also a departure, okay, apparent departure, because Krishna is not like us that if I die, I'm gonna forget who I am, completely, no memory at all. So apparent departure, okay. And the chapter is also called as the disappearance of the Lord. So contemporary relevance of the duties of a Kshatriya in relation to Arjun's dejection. Contemporary relevance of the duties of a Kshatriya in relation to Arjun's dejection. Sorry, what does this mean? What does this mean? Sarita Mataji, I see you in clinic. Hare Krishna. So nice.
Mataji, level 1 with you. See?
Oh my God, I'm doing Bhakti Vaibhav. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk. Okay, so thank you for joining. So much determination. So contemporary relevance of the duties of a Kshatriya in relation to Arjun's dejection. हमको तो aim ही clear नहीं है. How are we going ahead?
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I try?
Yes, Mataji.
So, Mataji, thank you. It could be related to the various duties of a Kshatriya which Arjuna was supposed to follow, and in case if he has not followed, like feeding the children, taking care of feeding the children and the diseased, giving protection to the diseased people. Similarly, if he had talked to a lady who is of a less character, or if he has not given respect to the duly respected people, that ways the various duties, if he is not able to fulfill those, so maybe that could be the reason, Mataji.
Yeah, okay. So this is from this reference could be written as first canto 14 chapter verse 40 to 30. Yeah, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So what it means is that if you read those verses, which we will do today, hopefully, is that when Yudhishthira Maharaj is trying to figure out the reasons for Arjun's gloomy face, he brings out these particular questioning or scenarios, that did you not feed the person in need? Did you try to approach a lady who was impreachable, actually who was of higher standard than a Kshatriya? So basically he's highlighting that a Kshatriya can be sad or they feel dejected if they have done all these things. Okay. So we will discuss, remember this, and then Shastra Chakshu, inauspicious omens noted by Yudhishthira Maharaj in these verses, which I think most of them are over. So what is the mood and mission? How Srimad Bhagavatam can remove the anomalies in human society. You see, Krishna is present in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So if we associate with Srimad Bhagavatam, the one way of looking at Srimad Bhagavatam is personally associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if we don't read Srimad Bhagavatam, then we miss this association. And then if we say that, oh, my life is not auspicious, well, yeah, because we are not associating with Krishna. What did you study yesterday? 1-9, somebody. There was a class yesterday, right? I was
Yes,
looking at the
Mataji.
recording. Radhika was giving class. What did you study yesterday? What's the take-home point?
What are the inauspicious omens that indicated Lord Krishna's disappearance?
Okay, very nice.
Mataji, Maharaj Yudhishthira started contemplating that
Mm.
maybe Krishna has gone. So he was not very sure, but he was suspecting the disappearance with the indirect signs were there in the nature, he studied all of those, Mataji, the birds and animals, in the Panchbhuta, in all of them, what were the signs which were started coming over there.
Mm. So he was thinking that why Arjun has not appeared, come back, because
Yeah,
he's been
7 months he
absent.
has not yet come back.
Yes. So why is he taking so long? What is he doing in Dwarka? Okay, I think you have seen this, that Maharaj Yudhishthira suspects disappearance of Lord Krishna. Then 11 to 20 omens which are experienced, bad omens experienced by Maharaj Yudhishthira. Then 21 to 24 when Arjun appears, Arjun comes back to Hastinapur and looks very dejected. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj starts to contemplate and starts inquiring about the welfare of the Yadus, from verse 25 to 33. And then 34 to 38 is Yudhishthira Maharaj glorifies Krishna and his influences. And then last part is he inquires about Arjun's welfare as a acting Kshatriya. Okay. So, and then finally inquires about Lord Krishna's disappearance. I took this from Srimad Bhagavatam Subodhini. If you don't have it, then I highly recommend, if you're doing Bhakti Vaibhav, to have it. This is another way of breaking down the chapter. But what I really like is, I think you studied till this, right? That Arjun went to Dwarka, and he went to Dwarka for 2 reasons: to see the Lord and friends, and also to hear from the Lord about his next program. That's verse 1 to 2. Then verse 3 to 4, there is a flow of chapter, inauspicious omens that Yudhishthira Maharaj starts to observe. How there are irregularities in the season, how there is fearful change of time, people have become greedy, deceitful, adopting foul means of livelihood. There are deception, misunderstanding, even in the family members. Amongst the family members, there is friendships which are mixed with cheating, quarreling, strain. So these are all the signs of that we are in Kali Yuga. Okay. And then seeing all this, Yudhishthira Maharaj spoke to his younger brother Bhim. He says, I've sent Arjun to Dwarka to see Krishna and know Krishna's next program, but he has not passed. 7 months have passed. Why? And then he speaks his mind out that, is Krishna going to go? Is Krishna going to depart? Is this something which Dev Rishi Narad had indicated? And then he starts to observe around him all the omens, which are because of the miseries. And this is the list of omens that you must have studied. Verse 11 talks about omens on the body, signs of omens on the body. Verse 12 to 13, he's seeing animals, jackals are howling at sunrise and vomiting fire, dog barking fearlessly, cows passing on left, asses are circumambulating him, horses are weeping, birds like pigeon is like a messenger of death. Shrieks of owl and their rival crows make my heart tremble. Like that, there's so many. Then 15, 16, 17, 18 verse talks about Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether. What are the bad omens there? Smoke in the sky, mountains throbbing, cloudless thunder, wind blows violently, clouds rain blood. Then animals and deities and places. So basically what it means is that Krishna means happiness. And wherever there is Krishna, there is happiness, there is victory, there is no moroseness. That as soon as Krishna is not there, which is also an illusion that Krishna is not there, but as soon as Krishna is not there, these things lose its power. They lose the happiness. So I've been speaking about it for the last few days, that we are trying to be, so understand this from this particular chapter, that when Krishna disappeared from the planet, the entire planet was grieving. Everywhere there were signs of bad omen until Srimad Bhagavatam appeared. Okay, when Srimad Bhagavatam appeared, Sukdev Goswami brought forth the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Then the heart of the devotees were somewhat satisfied. Okay, so are we living our life like that? That unless and until we chant Hare Krishna, we reach Srimad Bhagavatam, we associate with devotees, there is no comparison of happiness that we get from this particular activities versus the activities which are laid down by the society for us to become happy. Have so many channels. What is it? A color TV, a house by the sea, a MP3. Is that there's a color TV, a MP3, and a house by the sea? Is that the definition of my happiness? I think some people in your life by now who like to explore the world, like adventure. Do you have some people? Do you have some friends like that? We'll go in the verses in a minute, but tell me. Or do you know of people? Or there are so many travel channels, like people who want to go and explore the world and see the places, and experience the different cultures. Yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
In
yeah.
my friends are sharing that only, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. So there is no harm in that. I'm not saying this is a this is a defect. But Srimad Bhagavatam is one literature that actually tells us to pause this exploration, not diminish, not disappear, but pause it and try to take this exploration inward. What is it that I am made of? Where is it that I'm coming from? And what is actually my responsibility, and why am I here, and where am I going to go next? That is also an adventure. So we are not short of adventure in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Actually, if you see the life of the pure devotees, you study the life of Srila Prabhupada, he was so adventurous in his own journey of self-discovery that he had no time to rest. When one place to another place to another place, because Krishna just takes you off. If we have to travel, we will go maybe one place or two places a year or three places. Prabhupada went around the globe 14 times in 11 years. So I'm saying that Krishna consciousness is so full of adventure. So understand that when Krishna disappears, then the pure devotees become so unhappy. And this is a king. He's a king of the earth planet, right? Yudhishthira Maharaj. And he has all the riches at his disposal. So I think I'll come over these slides again, but we will go over the chapter at least and see that if there are any relevant points to discuss. And you can pause or reflect. Okay, the verses who just don't have purport, I'll just read the translation. So we start from verse 21. I have 1 hour, Radhika, 1 hour total, including the class activity. How long is the class?
1.5 hours, up to 9:30, Mataji. 9.
So 1 hour.
9:30, Mataji.
Yes, Mata.
ठीक है, 1 hour. Okay, then we'll go because there is a class activity here. Do you get divided into groups to do the class activity? How does that happen?
Once Dharmeshwar Prabhu made only
Most
once.
teachers skip that part, Mataji. Most teachers skip it, but it's upon the discretion of the teacher.
Okay, so maybe I'll divide you, but it's a huge batch. Okay, so verse 21, Prabhupada is translating. I think that all these early disturbances indicate some greater loss to the good fortune of the world. The world was fortunate to have been marked with the footprints of the lotus feet of the Lord. These signs indicate that this will no longer be. So this is like his moroseness in the 5 elements. This is from the earth, right? If you go back to the slide which I showed earlier, that how Yudhishthira Maharaj is lamenting. So Yudhishthira Maharaj's suspicious of are supplemented by Arjun's appearance. So earth, water, fire, air, ether. So if you read verse 15, 16, 17, 18, Panchabhutas, these are the omens which were discussed by Parikshit Maharaj as to how he suspects that Krishna has disappeared. So the air, smoke in the sky, mountain throbbing, cloudless thunder. Then wind blows violently and clouds rain blood. Sun rays declining, stars appearing to be fighting, confused living entities appear ablaze. Rivers, tributaries, ponds, reservoir, mind upperturbed, he no longer ignites fire. Okay, so connecting this, how do we get out? That he's already thinking that Krishna is gone, and then this is a greater loss to the good fortune of the world, and there is indicate that the earth will no longer be fortunate enough. O Brahman, Sonika, while Maharaj Yudhishthira observing the inauspicious signs on earth at the time, was thus thinking to himself, Arjun came back from the city of Yadus, Dwarka. When he bowed at his feet, the king saw that his dejection was unprecedented. His head was down, tears glided from his lotus eyes. Do you have this conception that spirituality is like without any emotions, without any feelings? We have to become like feelingless and, Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, like there's this face of where equanimity and smile always. Do you have that? Do you have that kind of conception of spirituality?
No,
I used to
Mataji.
have it. No, yes, no, no.
No, no.
Very nice.
No.
Very nice.
Here, yes, Mataji, but not now. After understanding Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So you see, I have a very good friend. Her name is Chiti Shakti. She says his feelings are like Krishna is like spices. In Indian kitchen, there's so many spices. So every spice has its use. But so it's like, okay, Krishna, if the feelings don't have use, then Krishna wouldn't have put them there. So it all depends that if we use it in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so Arjun is obviously feeling sad, dejected, grieving, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is obviously feeling very anxious and apprehensive about what is going to come about. And so these feelings are, because they are in service to Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are written in Srimad Bhagavatam for us to see. This Sukdev Goswami is not going to bring something to our attention. Prabhupada is not going to translate if this is not relevant to our practice of Krishna consciousness. So understand that in Krishna consciousness, we are filled with feelings, but they are centered around Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. So when he saw Arjun, Arjun appeared pale because due to heartfelt anxiety. See, this is another feeling. The king, remembering the indications of the sage Narad, questioned him in the midst of friends. What is anxiety? Heartfelt anxiety. So how does Prabhupada define anxiety? Prabhupada gives a definition of all these feelings, anxiety. What is the definition of anxiety? You can be wrong, it's okay, but try.
Fear for unknown, fear for the unknown.
Fear for the unknown, yes.
The fear of what is going to happen next.
Yes, fear of what's going to happen next. Very nice. So fear of unknown, that what will happen next, what will happen next, what will happen next. We don't see, when you read the literature, pay attention to the feeling of the author. Okay, when you're reading Nectar of Devotion, Bhagavad Gita, or any of Prabhupada books, just pay attention to the feeling of the author. And then generally, we feel very refreshed. Yeah, don't we feel very refreshed and happy in the heart after we read Prabhupada books? Generally, yes? Like,
Yes,
oh, this is so nice.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So you see over here, but he's saying that Arjun seeing Arjun pale due to heartfelt anxieties. The king, remembering the indications of sage Narad, questioned him in the midst of friends. So, because it is connected to Krishna, this anxiety is welcomed. That, oh my God, when will I see Krishna again? Oh my God. So, understand that Urdhva Mula Madhu Shakham Ashwatam Prahuravayam, like there is a banyan tree which is upside down on the side of a lake. So, whatever we are feeling in this world, rather than dismissing it, understand that there is a spiritual truth to it. Okay. The spiritual truth to the anxiety that we feel in this world is that we actually miss Krishna. I miss Krishna. We miss Krishna. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, my dear brother, please tell me whether your friends and relatives such as Madhu, Bhoj, the Sharha, Arha, Satvata, Andhaka, and the members of Yadu family are all passing their days in happiness. So he just starts contemplating and inquiring that why are you looking so anxious? Because he doesn't want to hear it, you know. Don't we do like that too? That, okay, I can make out that, let's say I'll give you a scenario and then you share. Okay, please raise your hand. Because you have to connect Srimad Bhagavatam to our life. That parents are sitting and the child comes and the parents know that today was supposed to be the declaration of the school result of my child. The child comes home and looks very teary, afraid, anxious. So the parents might know it in the heart that, oh my God, did my child fail? But that might not be the first thing that they'll say. Yeah, what they'll say is, did you eat? Did you get hit by somebody? Did anyone say something to you? Did you have any fight with your friend? Yes, they talk like that.
Yes, Mataji.
Even
So
though you
true.
know that today was the declaration of the result, but the last thing that will come upon. You see, where is that coming from? It's coming from here. Did Krishna go away? Did Krishna really disappear? I don't want to know that. Keep it for the last. Keep it for the last. The worst for the last. This actually is a no connection, but I got initiated in Chicago, and the deities are in Chicago were the last deities that Prabhupada installed in America. So one devotee asked that, why did you install these deities last? Why these last? So he looked at the deities, he said, we saved the best for the last. So over here, like when we converse, you say, I don't want to hear it. Okay, give me a few more moments of less anxiety, and then you blast it. So he's now inquiring about all these things. Is my respectful grandfather Shurasen in a happy mood? Are my maternal uncle Vasudev and his younger brothers all doing well? Keep on going. His 7 wives, headed by Devaki, are all sisters, are they, and their sons and daughters-in-law happy? Okay, we'll read the verse. Kashchit Raja Huko Jivati Asad Putru Asya Cha Anujaha Hridikaha Shashuto Akruro Jayanta Gadasharinaha Asate Kushalam Kachit Ye Cha Shatrujut Adayaha Kashchit Aste Sukham Ramo Bhagavan Satvatam Prabhu. Translation by Prabhupada. Our Ugrasen, whose son was the mischievous Kans and his younger brother still living. Are Hridika and his son Krita Varma happy? Are Akrura, Jayant, Gada, Sharana and Satrujit all happy? How is Balaram, the personality of Godhead and the protector of devotees? Prabhupada writes in the purport, Hastinapur, the capital of Pandavas, was situated somewhere near present New Delhi, and the kingdom of Ugrasen was situated in Mathura. So while returning to Delhi from Dwarka, Arjun must have visited the city of Mathura, and therefore the inquiry about King of Mathura is valid. Is this geography clear? Dwarka, Delhi, Mathura. This geography is clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Dwarka is in present-day Gujarat, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So he has gone to Dwarka to see Krishna, and then he comes to Hastinapur, and then on his way back, he is stopping at Mathura and then coming to Hastinapur. Okay, so he's asking, among the various names of the relatives the name of Ram or Balaram, eldest brother of Lord Krishna, is added with the words personality of Godhead. Why? Because he is a Vishnu Tattva or direct expansion, a Prakash Vigraha of Lord Krishna. You know this, right? You've studied chapter 3, direct expansion and then plenary expansions. So Vishnu Tattva and living in the Supreme Lord, although one without a second, expands himself as many other living beings. Vishnu Tattva living beings are expansions of the Supreme Lord, and all of them are qualitatively and quantitatively one with the Lord. Can you give me more examples of Vishnu Tattvas? One is Balaram. It will come in the forthcoming verses, but more examples, just so I know you understand.
Sankarshana Mataji.
Aniruddha.
Primary Chaturvyuha, secondary Chaturvyuha.
What are the names? But primary, secondary, Chaturvyuha, you have names.
Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. And three Purusha avatars.
3 Purusha avatars are not direct Vishnu Tattvas. Okay, I'm asking Vishnu Tattvas. So they're not direct Vishnu Tattvas. They're the plenary expansion.
Narayana, second Sankarshana.
First, and
Sankarshan,
Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha,
Vasudeva.
And from there,
Vasudeva.
first Sankarsana, Narayana.
Vasudeva, yes. Yes, Narayan, yes, plenary of the plenary expansion is what I understand. But anyway, okay, we carry on. So, but the expansion of Jiva Shakti, in which categories the ordinary living being are not at all equal with the Lord. One who considers Jiva Shakti and Vishnu Tattva to be on equal level is considered a condemned soul of the world. So Nityananda Trayodashi is coming, right? So Balaram, Lord Ram appeared as Nityananda Prabhu. Prabhupada is writing here too. Who is actually the mercy incarnation. And through Nityananda Prabhu, the spiritual master gets the power. So basically we need the spiritual power to proceed in our Krishna consciousness through the mercy of the spiritual master who gets the mercy from Nityananda Prabhu. Okay, so therefore it is particularly mentioned herein that Balaram is protector of the devotees of the Lord. By his divine grace only one can approach the Supreme Lord Krishna, and thus Balaram is the mercy incarnation of the Lord manifested as spiritual master, the savior of the pure devotees. So basically, Prabhupada has paused here because of the appearance inquiry about the Balaram, inquiry about Balaram to Arjun. How is Pradyumna, the great general of the Vrishni family? Is he happy? And how is Aniruddha, the plenary expansion of the personality of Godhead, faring well? Again, the plenary expansion of the personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada writes that this is also Vishnu Tattva, as it is explained by this adjective, the plenary expansion of personality of Godhead. So just to understand that Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring about everyone, even though in his heart he knows what the reality is. Are all the chieftains of sons of Lord Krishna, such as Sushen, Charudeshan, Samba, the son of Jambavati, and Rishabha, along with their sons, are doing well? So this is a math of how much big Krishna's family was. How many wives Krishna had in Dwarka? How many wives he had?
16,108.
16,108 wives. Right. Now, how many sons each wife had?
10 sons.
10 sons.
10 sons each. So that makes it like how much?
1,61,000.
18. So that's Krishna's children. Okay. And then Krishna's children had many children. So it says that
10 each.
what is that?
10 each.
The sons, we don't even have a record of the daughters. Those are sons. Okay, so somewhere about over like 1.5 crores family members of the Lord. So it's not very astonishing for Krishna to have such a huge family. And why did Krishna display such magnanimous family? What was the reason?
Showing the root cause of everything.
And he
Okay.
can
I think we must raise our hands because online it becomes a little difficult. So I can give chance if I may request. Just raise your hand and I'll let you. Vamshi Mohan Das Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. What do you think is the reason?
Lord wanted to show his opulence or his Vaibhava.
Yes, yes, very nice. Okay, very nice. Thank you. So I want to tell you one thing, how to think about somebody hand I lowered. Please raise it again. I'm sorry, I don't know who it was. That whenever you think of answering or reading Srimad Bhagavatam, one thing that helps is that there's always going to be an external reason and there's always going to be an internal reason. Okay, Krishna is not going to do something very simple. Krishna is going to do, for example, reason for appearance of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. What is the verse? Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
Okay.
So the Shastra says paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam. So to protect the sadhus and to annihilate the miscreants and to reestablish the codes of religion, I appear in every millennium, right? Now it says, okay, the external reason here is that to annihilate the miscreants. Prabhupada explains there, right, that Krishna doesn't need to appear to annihilate anyone. He can just command anyone, tell Indra to send forth his sun Vartaka clouds, and then everyone is demolished. But the internal reason is because he wants to give pleasure to the devotees, right? So what is the external reason? What is the internal reason? My question to you is, what made Krishna display such magnificent show of a family? Madhumay Krishna Kan Mataji. Madhumay Krishna Kan Mataji. Okay, Sarita Mataji, go ahead, please.
Mataji.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. External reason is he wanted to show the opulences and glories to this thing and to his devotees so that they enjoy. And the internal reason is to, give pleasure to the devotees by his this magnanimous show. External reason is to for the conditioned souls to come back to. He's inviting them to come back to the spiritual world.
Okay.
I felt like
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Sarita Mataji.
Mataji, internal reason I felt like because he wanted to give the chance to the devotees to be associated with him because they were all eternal associates who came from the spiritual world, so that to be in his companion, like in his pastime. So, and externally, as Mataji said, like it would be like giving the people a chance to come back to the spiritual world. Be like by seeing the plant. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. Okay, one more devotee. Dipti Mati Kalindini Mataji. Go ahead, please.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, external reason is to show the world also that he is not an ordinary person, so that no one can imitate him in the future. And the internal reason is, as Mataji's mentioned, that there have been so many devotees who wanted his association, as we see from the sages of Dandakaranya 1 also. So Mataji wanted everybody to be his eternal associate. He wanted to give them a chance to be with them, so that he wanted to reciprocate with his devotees. So that is the reason, Mataji, internally. Thank you,
Very
Mataji.
nice. Thank you. Yes, very nicely said. I think the answer is there now. So externally is like Krishna wants to set a standard of what it takes to be called as a god. Right? He even displayed his universal form, and Prabhupada said, if tomorrow somebody comes to you and says, I'm God, okay, lift the Govardhan hill, match the standards, okay, display your universal form, okay, do you have 16,108 wives and then 10 sons from each wife, and each wife has her own palace, and it's not like the wife has to wait for her turn to see thousands of years. No, okay, if you're God, then smash the standard, then we'll say, otherwise you are dog. Prabhupada says that. So we have a standard. And internally, yes, as we will read from in the forthcoming verses, that that how he wants to give pleasure to these devotees as they wanted to associate with him. Like the example will be coming of Satyabhama. No, she wanted to associate with Krishna as his wife, and she wanted Krishna to act as a henpecked husband. Okay, and then the boys, Krishna's boys, wanted to associate with Krishna as a father. So whatever rasa each devotee wanted, Krishna just gave. He's very giving. Okay, so Parikshit Maharaj is continuing with the inquiry, but I think we are relishing this associations of different devotees with Krishna. So he continues to ask, also Shruta Dev, Uddhav and others, Narad, Sunanda and other leaders of liberated souls who are constant companions of the Lord, are protected by Lord Balram and Krishna. Are they all doing well in their respective functions? Do they, who are all eternally bound in friendship with us, remember our welfare? So, I don't know if this was this particular verse or in one particular verse, Prabhupada points out that maybe it's towards the end, but I'll mention it here. Yudhishthira Maharaj is a pure devotee. Okay, he is not asking how Krishna is doing because he knows that Krishna is God and there can nothing be wrong with Krishna. So he's asking about the well-being of the allies of Krishna and everyone who is associated with Krishna in whatever degree. Because just by knowing how those devotees are doing, he will know whether Krishna is there or not. Right, Prabhupada gives two examples to explain that how do we know that actually we are associating with the right kind of person or not. So he gives one example is boiled rice. How do you know that the whole big pot of the boiled rice is boiled? How do you know? So you take one grain and check it, and if you check it and it's done, then it is the whole pot is done, right? So you study the condition of the devotee, you know whether Krishna is there or not. And then he gives example of he was in Moscow. I was hearing his class and he was saying that Moscow is a very wretched country because they could not even find nice rice, nice dal, only potatoes, lots of yogurt, but lots of meat. And he said when he had to take the taxi, they apologized saying that, I'm sorry, Swamiji, there is no taxi. Said either people cannot afford taxi or there is no demand. So says looking at the taxi business, I can tell you that it is a very wretched country. Prabhupada is saying it, okay? I'm not saying I've never been to Moscow. So here we can say that inquiring about the well-being of other devotee, we can find out that how much pure devotee, because most of us are like in and out of different consciousness, right? 8th verse of Nectar of Instruction describes that. We're like in and out, we remember Krishna and then we forget Krishna, and we remember Krishna, we forget Krishna. But pure devotee who's in constant remembrance of Krishna, if Yudhishthira Maharaj is intelligent to understand and inquire about their well-being, so indirectly he's only asking, is Krishna there or not? Get it? Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Got it.
Is Lord Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead who gives pleasure to the cows, the senses, and the Brahmins, who is very affectionate towards his devotees, enjoying the pious assembly at Dwarkapuri, surrounded by friends. This is a very nice purport. In purport, Prabhupada explains that Krishna is called Govind. Why? Why is Krishna called Govind? Because he gives
Happiness to the cows.
The
Cows and the
senses.
senses.
and the
Senses.
senses. Very nice. He gives
Senses.
happiness to the cows and senses. So his name is Govind. Okay, and then he gives happiness to the Brahmana. So Namo Brahmanya Devaya, right? Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama. So one who gives happiness to the Brahmanas and the cows. So Prabhupada explains, and I was also hearing Prabhupada say that the body is made of senses, and the senses are hankering for satisfaction. But Krishna is called Rishikesh because he's a proprietor of the senses. So if we really want the senses to become happy, then bring the senses to Rishikesh. They'll be happy. It's like if a child is crying, you can do whatever you can, but the child is not going to be pacified. Bring the child to the mother, the child will stop crying. Like that, whatever disturbances are going at the ethereal level in the mind is because its search is like, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? But we don't hear that because we are covered. But Srimad Bhagavatam can actually remove those coverings. The comparison is that if there is a thick fog, have you seen if there is a thick fog, there are delays, right? You cannot drive, the trains run late, the buses are running late, the flights are cancelled because there's so much thick fog. Yeah. But as soon as the sunlight comes out and the sun rays are becoming stronger, the fog disappears. So whatever disturbance is there is compared to the thick fog, and Krishna is compared to the thick sun rays. So we must let Krishna enter our lives. Krishna wants to enter. We are the one who doesn't let him. Okay, so he's inquiring that are all these cows, even the inquiries for the cows. You see, the king is so pious that they're inquiring about the cows. Nowadays, when the ministers meet each other, what do they inquire about? The trading, right? What trades are done, or tariffs, right? That's a very common thing going on in the world, the trades, the tariffs, or jobs, or visas, when there is no mention of the cows, the senses, the Brahmins. See, such a contrast. But it's okay. It's okay because now we know the contrast, so we have a choice. What do we want to do? I think there is a class activity at this verse. The original 35 to 36, the original personality of Godhead, the enjoyer, and Balaram, the premier Lord Ananta, are staying in the ocean of Yadu dynasty for the welfare, protection, and general progress of the entire universe. And the members of Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of the Lord, are enjoying life like the residents of the spiritual sky. We'll read this puppet, okay? It's a little long puppet, but we'll read because it's very important that when Krishna was there, then his constitutional house or parliament was brought from the Vaikuntha. It's not that somebody made it in this world. This is what it says. As we have discussed many times, the personality of Godhead Vishnu resides within each and every universe in two capacities, namely as Garbhodaksha Vishnu and Shirdaksha Vishnu. The Shirdaksha Vishnu has his own planet on the northern top of the universe, and there is a great ocean of milk where the Lord resides on the bed of Ananta incarnation of Baldev. Is this clear? There is a great ocean of milk where the Lord resides on the bed of Ananta incarnation of Baldev. Clear?
Yes, Mataji.
So, who is residing where? Tell me.
Shirodaksha
Ananta
Vishnu.
Shesh. Huh?
Shirodaksha Vishnu.
Shirodaksha Vishnu and Ananta Shesh.
Very nice. Very nice. So Krishna and Balram are together. Okay. Thus, Maharaj Yudhishthira has compared the Yadu dynasty to the ocean of milk and Sri Balaram to the Ananta, where Lord resides. He has compared the citizens of Dwarka to liberated inhabitants of Vaikuntha Loks, beyond the material sky, further than we can see with our eyes. So poetic, beyond material sky, further than we can see with our eyes, and beyond the sevenfold coverings of the universe. There is a causal ocean in which all the universes are floating like footballs. There is a verse also. Do you know this Rigved verse? What is the Rigved verse that describes this? Krishna, we have to chant this. Remind me. Krishna has taken my memory away now. Anyway, if it comes to my memory, I'll tell you. There's a Rigved verse which says that the as a common man can look at the planets when they raise their head on the sky like sun and moon, so the pure devotees of the Lord can actually see the spiritual planets. Because they can see the spiritual planets in the sky, they can reveal it to others. There's a verse like that which means this. Okay, beyond the material sky and beyond the causal ocean, there is an unlimited span of spiritual sky, generally known as the effulgence of Brahman. Within this effulgence, there are innumerable spiritual planets, and they are known as Vaikuntha planets. Each and every Vaikuntha planet is many, many times bigger than the biggest universe within the material world. And in each of them, there are innumerable inhabitants who look exactly like Lord Vishnu. These inhabitants are known as Mahapurushikas, or persons directly engaged in the service of the Lord. They are happy in those planets and are without any kind of misery. They live perpetually in full youthfulness, enjoying life in full bliss and knowledge without fear of birth, death, old age, or disease, and without the influence of Kal or eternal time. Maharaj Yudhishthira has compared the inhabitants of Dwarka to the Mahapurushikas of Vaikuntha Lok because they are so happy with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are many references to the Vaikuntha Lokas, and they are mentioned there as Mad Dham, or the kingdom of the Lord, right? In 15th chapter, Krishna reveals. So understand that this world is not all in all. I think there's an activity on this particular verse from what I saw on the slides. What conclusion can we draw from reading the description of the spiritual world in relation to material world given by Srila Prabhupada in the purport? Conclusion can you draw? Yeah, okay, we'll spend 2 minutes on this. You can raise your hand and share. What conclusion? I just read the purport. Can you draw from this purport? I'm reading the description of the spiritual world given by Srila Prabhupada's purport. Please raise your hand and please speak up. Deeptimati Kalindini Mataji, your name is so nice.
Sorry, Mataji, it's Deeptimati Kalindi Devi Das.
Yeah, Deeptimati Kalindini.
Thank
It's
you,
not
Mataji.
Kalindini, it's Kalindi. Sorry.
Kalindi. No, that's fine,
sorry,
Mataji.
sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Just 1 or 2 points so that others can also get a chance, Mataji. I'll share that the spiritual sky, there is no influence of Kala. And there is direct association of the Lord. So much seva, I mean, we can render to the Lord. So, I mean, we are directly, in case if we are there, we have direct reciprocation with the Lord. We can see the Lord there. And not only that, it's beyond this material Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So that is also not there. So it is like the jivas are eternal there. They don't need to have any kind of subtle body also. So these are a few things, Mataji.
So
Thank
nice.
you,
Thank
Mataji.
you.
And then
Saheli Bose Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji. Saheli Bose Mataji. Okay, well, she's working on that. Sanvia Mataji, Sanvia Devi, Dr. Kapoor. Oh, you got initiated.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Saheli Bose Mataji, go ahead.
Mataji, this spiritual world, this material world is a replica of the spiritual world.
Replica or shadow?
So, like, what happens in this material world is not permanent, but in the whatever happens in the material world is not.
I think you're having audio issues.
Is like under the effulgence of the Lord. So everything is achieved in the spiritual world, and whatever we wish we can get in spiritual world, but in material world it is not possible because it is a dukhalayam. So
okay, thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Sanvia Mataji. Sorry, Dr.
Sanvika.
Sanvika. You have written Sanvia, see?
See, I made a mistake. Oh, I'll correct it for Sri Sanvika.
Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Mataji, go ahead. Sanvika Mataji.
The difference is, Mataji, in the Vaikuntha Dham, there are all those who are there, they resemble the appearance of the Lord, like the same like 400 in the Vaikuntha Dham. Then there is all the time there is light over there. There is nothing like darkness and all, and there is no day and night. The time doesn't vary. It is all there. Then Kala doesn't affect over there. That as Mataji had taught, and then there are many other Surabhi cows. There are all of the Kalpataru trees and all those lots is different. And then there is no misery over there. There is no suffering over there. And all of them are mostly busy in the serving the personality, supreme personality of Godhead. That is the biggest pleasure they get, and then they get to see the different leelas of the Lord also. And material world is like like a shadow, or it's a reflection of the spiritual world, but it's an upside reflection. There the desires are at the lowest, and the desires are the highest, Mataji. So the material world. So others can Mataji complete it.
So you will not be able to practice your medicine there.
Going on, Mataji, in between I put off the video, I did not scan and came.
Thank you. Thank you. Vamshi Mohan Das. Okay, I'm going to read the question again. Okay. What conclusion can we draw from reading the description of the spiritual world? So you are giving me the description, but the question is asking the conclusion. You go ahead, Vamshi Mohan. Very nice. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mataji, the inhabitants are full of full youthfulness. They enjoy life in full bliss and knowledge, without fear of birth, death, and old age. So they are called Maha Paurshikas. So Maharaj Yudhishthira is comparing those inhabitants of Dwarka to Maha Paurshikas of Vaikunta. So in the end, there are many. In Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned about Vaikunta Lokas. So Madhama. That's what Maharaj Yudhishthira is telling about.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Audharya Gauranga Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
Mataji, that verse 35 says, this disappearance of Lord Krishna means inauspicious omens will come. And 36 says, when the Lord Krishna is present, we will feel everything happiness, real source of happiness and fortune. That's why our Srila Prabhupada suggested us always remaining Krishna, never forget Krishna, like that. So when we feel always with Krishna, everything, fortune and happiness will come to us. If we forget, then everything will go.
Very nice. Thank you. Always remember forget Krishna. Okay, thank you. The conclusions is stay with Krishna. Radha Vallabhi Mataji. Very quickly.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
So, Mataji, most of the points have we talked about, but we can also understand the spiritual world is divided into the Vaikuntha Lok and the Goloka Dham, where Krishna is, and there are many Vaikunthas where various forms of Narayana are there based on the conch shell, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and then the abode of Lord Krishna is wherein we'll find the 5 rasas also, and then like we have the Surbi cows, then that milk, the lake filled with the milk, and also the shape of the Goloka is of the form of a petal, a lotus petal. And then we have Vrindavana and Goloka and Mathura also. There are distinctions about those dhams also in the spiritual world. And as mentioned by many of them, that it is perpetually, the people who live there perpetually are full of youthfulness. They enjoy the life in full bliss and knowledge. There is no fear of death, and there's no fear of old age. And Kala has no influence on the spiritual world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Krishna. Madhumay Krishna Gante Mataji, conclusion,
Hare
not the
Krishna Mataji,
description.
conclusion is that we have to aim at going to spiritual world instead of rotting in this material world full
Very
of
nice.
miseries, primary and secondary
Very
miseries.
nice.
So we should aim at going there and enjoying that spiritual bliss, which is full of knowledge and
Very
association,
nice. Thank you.
direct association of the Supreme Personality of
Very
Godhead.
nice. You see,
Thank
the
you.
question is asking conclusion can we draw from reading the description of the spiritual world? Thank you. So thank you everyone for sharing your insights. But the question specifically asks that the description is already there. What do you conclude out of this description? What we conclude is I want to go there. You know, I don't want to be here because I can have a better life. Okay. I think we are on time, but can I do 2 more verses? Is that okay?
So, Mataji.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Maybe we can finish till like 37 verse. Simply by administering comforts at the lotus feet of the Lord, which is the most important of all services. The queens of Dwarka, headed by Satyabhama, induced the Lord to conquer the demigods. Thus, the queens enjoy things which are prerogatives of the wives of the controller of thunderbolts. So, Parikshit Maharaj is actually going in meditation, right? He's like meditating on Krishna's relationship with different devotees and relishing that relationship between the Lord and the devotees. So this is so contrary to envy, right? I think we know what envy is now, right? Envy is like, I like what you have, but I don't like the fact that you have it. So if somebody has a happy marriage, the most materially conditioned mind will make one envious. That okay, I like that there's a happy marriage, but I don't like that you have that. I should be the one having it. This is so contrary to envy. Devotional service makes the heart so pure that one is able to actually enter those pastimes and relish the association between Krishna and his devotees. And the purport, Prabhupada explains that how Krishna was acting as a handpicked husband for Satyabhama, and actually fought and brought Parijata from Indralok to her palace so that she can have Parijata flowers in her palace. Okay, why Krishna acted like that? Because Krishna is God. He could have just told Indra, give it to me, or he could have just generated another Parijata. Why he went there and fought and brought to enhance this pleasure? This is explained very well in Nectar of Devotion, where Rupa Goswami Prabhupada mentions that the rasas or the relationship or the juice of the relationship is something that gives the mellow or the life. And based on that, so many scholars wrote so many dramas, right? What is so attractive in the dramas is the interaction between different characters. Like that, what is so so exciting about being in Krishna consciousness is that Krishna is so personal with all his devotees. He leaves his title as God and just, makes it his agenda or his aim of life to actually meet the comforts of his devotees. We see that pastime more intimately in Vrindavan Leela than anywhere else. Okay, so Parikshit Maharaj, I'm sorry, Yudhishthira Maharaj has now gone into ecstasy that Krishna is actually doing this. Krishna is actually acting and taking care of his wives so well. Satyabhama is the head of all of them. The great heroes of Yadu dynasty, being protected by the arms of Lord Sri Krishna, always remain fearless in every respect. And therefore their feet trample over the Sudharma assembly house, which the best demigods deserve, but which was taken away from them. So Prabhupada explains the purpose. Sudharma is the state assembly house of Yadu dynasty. Like every state has an assembly house, right? And this assembly house, Sudharma, was something which was brought from demigod's planet because Krishna has to be given the best of what we have available. So no material hands can make such an assembly house. So it was brought for his pleasure from another planet. And the first part is important, that Krishna's arms gave us fearlessness in every respect. There is no other thing that can give me fearlessness in every respect. okay, if somebody has money, then maybe there is less fear about becoming poor. But the fear of old age, fear of death, fear of disease, fear of losing the money is always there. Like, okay, if somebody is very knowledgeable, then they may have less fear of not being educated or being illiterate or being cheated. But the other fears are there. But the fear in every respect is only possible if we are under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Lord Krishna. So knowing Krishna means knowing what I can have, yes, but also knowing oneself. I think I'll stop here. We couldn't do 41 because we exceeded the time, but something that can be
Krishna
done.
Mataji, we have time till 9:30, Mataji. Yeah, 25 minutes more we have.
9:30. What is the
Yeah.
time right now?
It's 7 past
9:07.
9.
Oh, we have time.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you. My brother Arjun, please tell me whether your health is all right. You appear to have lost your bodily luster. Is this due to others disrespecting and neglecting you because of your long stay at Dwarka? So you see, now he's finally inquiring that, why Arjun, why are you looking so dull in your demeanor? And says, if we overstay our stay somewhere, then we are not welcome anymore. Or we don't welcome people who overstay at our places. And this was the case going on at that time too. Okay, Treta Yuga. This is going on at that time too. So don't lose the bodily luster by doing activity like that. So indirectly, it is a message to us as well. Has someone addressed you with unfriendly words or threatened you? Could you not give charity to one who asked, or could not keep your promise, or you could not keep your promise to someone? Prabhupada writes, in the purpose, Kshatriya or a rich man is sometimes visited by persons who are in need of money. When they are asked for a donation, it is the duty of the possessor of the wealth to give in charity in consideration of the person, place, and time. If a Kshatriya or rich man fails to comply with this obligation, he must be very sorry for this discrepancy. Similarly, one should not fail to keep his promise to give in charity. These discrepancies are sometimes causes of despondency, and thus failing, a person becomes subjected to criticism, which might also be the cause of Arjun's plight. Right? So these are other reasons that Yudhishthira Maharaj is bringing to Arjun's attention, that have you done something like this? So basically, he's telling us the codes of conduct, that how one is supposed to live in this material world. In this material world in a way that one does not get entangled. You're always the protector of the deserving living beings, such as Brahman, children, cows, women, and the diseased. Could you not give them protection when they approached you for shelter? That's also a code of conduct for a Kshatriya. Right, Kshatriya has how many qualities? How does a person is known as a Kshatriya? How many qualities Bhagavad Gita explains?
7 qualities.
7 qualities. Does anyone know what they are?
Tejah, Kshama, Dhritirshaucham, Yuddhe Chapalayanam, Danameshwara Bhavascha, Kshatram, Karma Svabhavajam. He should not be running away from the battlefield. He should be vigorous, should be the charity, charitable, determination, I think, Kriti, Kshama, so one who is forgiving. Yeah, I'm missing few.
Let's read. What verse of Bhagavad Gita is it? Let's bring out. It's 18th chapter. What verse is it in Bhagavad Gita that talks about the qualities of a Kshatriya? Tell me, I'm in Bhagavad Gita.
43.
Arjuna was
43, Sharmila Mataji.
62 or 63, I think.
43. Sharmila Mataji, I heard you. You're here, right?
1843.
Heroism, determination.
43, Mataji. 1843.
Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for Kshatriyas. So heroism, like giving protection, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership. So he's like, okay, why you're not able to give protection? That is why you're morose. Which means that if we are not acting according to our guna, according to our varna and ashram, then we will not be happy. Okay, one of the reasons of our unhappiness would be that am I not acting according to my varna and ashram? The bigger question is, do I even know my varna and ashram? That's even a bigger question, right? Have you contacted a woman of impeachable character, or have you not properly treated a deserving woman? Or have you been defeated on the way by someone who is inferior or equal to you? So both, like Prabhupada explains in the purport that how a woman of higher caliber cannot be accepted in marriage by a man of lower caliber. A Brahmana woman cannot be accepted by a Kshatriya wife, but a Kshatriya wife Kshatriya lady can be accepted by a Brahman, not vice versa. So because it will not be a good marriage. Like that, he's explaining different codes of conduct as to how to live in a particular social order, which is based on the Vedic literature. Okay, have you been defeated on the way by someone who's inferior to you or equal to you? So, because heroism is one of the characters of a Kshatriya, right? If they're not able to display that, then they can become morose. Have you not taken care of old men and boys who deserve to dine with you? Have you left them and taken your meals alone? Have you committed some unpardonable mistake which is considered to be abominable? So Prabhupada writes the duty of a householder to feed first of all the children, the old members of the family, the Brahmins and the invalids. Besides that, an ideal householder is required to call for any unknown hungry man to come and dine before he himself goes to take his meals. He is required to call for such a hungry man thrice on the road. The neglect of this prescribed duty of a householder, especially in the matter of the old men and children, is unpardonable. Okay, so have you not shown your conduct as a Kshatriya? Now he finally breaks the ice. Or is it that you're feeling empty for the all time because you might have lost your most intimate friend, Lord Krishna? Oh, my brother Arjun, I can think of no other reason for you becoming so dejected. So all the inquisitiveness of Maharaj Yudhishthira about the world situation was already conjectured by Maharaj Yudhishthira on the basis of Lord Krishna's disappearance from the vision of the world. And this was not disclosed by him because of the acute dejection of Arjun, which could not have been possible otherwise. Even though he was doubtful about it, he was obliged to inquire frankly from Arjun on the basis of Sri Narad's indication. And what do the Pandavas do once they learn that Krishna has disappeared? What do? They
decide to go back.
They wanted to go back.
Next chapter is they retire.
Go back.
Pandavas' family retire.
Vanaprastha.
So they retire. They want to go back to Krishna. Okay, so thus ends the Bhaktivedanta. The purpose of first canto, 14th chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Disappearance of Lord Krishna. So let's see if we met the goals. And is there any other activity I missed out? So the goal of the chapter, you tell me if we met it or not. By the end of this unit, we should be able to understand and connect between chapter 13 and 14. Yes or no? Maybe so.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
I am hearing 3-4 yeses in a class of 57.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
All right.
Mataji.
Somebody is the face of the class. Preaching application, apparent departure of Lord Krishna. You know, the other thing I was thinking was that Krishna left his body by the arrow of a hunter. That also the external, you know, because that's what we can see. At least we'll remember Krishna by that. Is this clear? If somebody asks you, discuss about the apparent departure of Lord Krishna, you can explain that or you cannot explain that?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
So the goal is met. This is how you know whether your study is okay or not. How do you know? Evaluation, contemporary relevance of the duties, of a Kshatriya in relation to Arjun's dejection. From all the verses that we just read, do you have this contemporary relevance of the duties of a Kshatriya in relation to Arjun's dejection? But
Yes,
Yudhishthira is inquiring,
yes,
no? Are
yes,
you
Mataji.
sad because...
Yes, all the duties of Kshatriya is asked. Whether you have done any mistake in that, he has asked.
So all the 7 qualities, like, have you not been able to lead? Have you not displayed heroism? Have you not displayed protection? Have you not displayed resourcefulness, protection, or administration? So all these things are there, right? He's asking. It's very important. So one of the things when we are unhappy is to actually think that, am I acting according to my Varna and Ashram or not? Okay, rather than saying they said this happened in the world, he said this, she said this, they did not say this. Think, am I acting according to a Varna or Ashram or not? Shastra Jakshus, inauspicious omen. So we can look at these omens and say, oh my God, there's no Krishna here. You know, when we change countries, Prabhupada talks about this. Chanakya Niti. Let me see if I remember. It says, look for 3 things if you move countries. I don't know, we only look for now one thing is like job opportunity or education, right? But according to the Shastras, it says look for 3 things. Do you have friends? Where you're going to be? Do you have a holy river where you're going to be? Do you have a temple where you're going to be? This is the 3 things. Do you have friends? Do you have the holy river? Do you have the temple? He said this is the Chanakya Niti. So look for these 3 things. Is okay. If no, then don't change. I'm not saying this is the only. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying what I have heard. Mood and mission. How Srimad Bhagavatam can remove the anomalies in human society. When in the moment, now you tell me, when we were reading about Yudhishthira Maharaj's inquiry to Arjun about his face of dejection, weren't there like few moments when we actually like felt so happy hearing and thinking about Krishna's pastime with his devotees? Like discussing who is Anantashesh, who is compared to who's the expansion of Balaram, Shri Rakshay Vishnu, and who the Dwarkavasis are compared to what? Satyabhama is, why is Krishna being a henpecked husband to her? Didn't we like feel like, okay, whatever the omens are going on, but this is more sweet? Do you feel like that or no?
Yes, Mataji.
At least for that particular moment, when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam and hearing about Krishna, nothing else matters. So it can remove all anomalies in human society. I think I'll open up for questions now. We can stop going live. Radhika, we can stop going live now.